Today's episode, you are most likely going to enjoy this episode. In this episode, I want to show you very much damning evidence how Mkhwanazi exposed Mbalula, exposed the then Minister of Police, exposed a lot of people in between. A lot of people. You see, it now makes sense why the ANC had a problem with Mkhwanazi going public. But we must thank the man, Mkhwanazi. He seems very intelligent, and I'm going to qualify what I'm saying to you. You will understand, you will have an appreciation of what I'm about to tell you. So there are about 4 videos that I will insert in this episode. 2 videos from Mkhwanazi, 2 videos from the ANC. I'm not going to bombard you with more, I can insert even up to 8 videos where I can show you the difference, but I don't want to because it's going to be a lengthy video. Allow me to take you into a journey where I prove to you one of the major reasons why the ANC and those who are on media, including the analysts, one of the reasons why they are out there complaining about Mkhwanazi having not followed procedure in how he went about this. And today you will know the truth. You know the truth, and the truth is the reason they wanted him to follow the procedure is because they wanted to deal with him as he's dealing with them through the procedure. And I'm going to show you why. Remember, I showed you this thing where they say, when people tell you about proper channels and procedure, it is because they've got an absolute control on those proper channels. Are you with me? Let's start here. The ANC youth leader, the moment he heard that Mkhwanazi had went public with the truth, right? What did he say? Attacked Mkhwanazi, right? Today I will show you how he exposed them and why they reacted the way they reacted. I found this evidence that is super important that you need to watch this video until the end. Now, ANC youth leader was the first to react. When journalists asked him, what do you make of what Mkhwanazi said? He responded by saying this.
You lead. Days of statements and populism have ended. If he has got evidence on them, he must arrest them. We're not a country of lawlessness. We don't want statements. We don't want press briefings. We want people to be arrested. If you are doing crime, you're putting drugs in our country, you're working with criminals, arrest them. We don't want commissioners that are becoming politicians. We want commissioners that act. His role as a commissioner of police is to arrest those who do crime. Now, we don't want him to be a pop star. If he wants to contest politics, he must come to branches of the ANC and contest. But if he wants to be a commissioner, he must arrest those who do crime. We don't want statements, we want arrests.
And what do you make of the fact that he, to some extent, is implicating the Minister of Police?
If the Minister of Police is doing crime, he must be arrested. We're not a lawless country. I'm repeating again, we don't want a commissioner who's a pop star. We want a commissioner that acts against crime. He has been doing very well, applauded by people where he was arresting criminals. He must continue doing that work. We don't want him to do press briefings, we want him to act. We want to be told that if a person is doing crime, is arrested and the law is enforced. That's what we want to hear.
Okay, I told you I'll take you on a journey. So when I say I will take you on a journey, simply put, relax. Relax, relax, something is cooking. The video of Mkhwanazi Kulega, it's coming where he exposes them. So now you move from the ANC youth leader, then you go to the ANC Secretary General. There's a reason why I need to play you this video so you understand something. So then the ANC Secretary General, when he heard that Mkhwanazi said these things on ENCA on the 6th of July 2025, later on the day, Mkhwanazi had the press conference during the day as early as around 10 to 11 a.m. At around 6 p.m., 7 p.m., Mbalula is on ENCA. Then he get a chance to respond to what Mkhwanazi had said, right? In his response, when he was asked about this, he said this.
It borders on lawlessness and a banana republic, that a high-ranking police commissioner can basically go to television and make a disparaging and grave accusations and allegations.
Go with me, calm down, relax. This is going to be an interesting one. So, notice the word. The ANC youth leader said he wants to be a politician, right? They put him on a certain light. Notice that. Notice the following, that the ANC youth leader says they did not follow procedure. It turns out, we are going to this video now. It turns out that Mkhwanazi had followed procedure, had done the right things, but they did not want to listen to him. Can I repeat this? It turns out that Mkhwanazi has done all the right things, but nobody listened to Mkhwanazi. Why? Because the reason they want protocol is because they have an absolute control to protocol. And the video that I'm about to insert now explains all of that to the teeth. After this video, you will realize why they have a serious complaint. They are out there on the media attacking him, but upon realizing that, hey, the public is not buying this, then Mbalula on the 6th, he said this. On the 7th, he changed and said, no, people buying sugela. They're saying, Mina, I attacked the men. No, me, I didn't do it. He was lying. He attacked Mkhwanazi and said that Mkhwanazi did not follow procedure. Now, this is by a way of background to all of this. It turns out that when Mkhwanazi followed the procedure to report all of these things, the same ANC suppressed him. Today, they don't know anything. Guys, are we children here? The reason they want him to follow this thing is because they have an absolute control to these so-called proper channels. And you think I'm joking, you think I'm just creating content, you think I'm just enjoying talking about it. No, Mkhwanazi explained every single thing, every single one of his encounter with the very same members of the ANC who presided over these so-called proper channels and made sure that the truth does not prevail, but rather conspiracy and everything prevails. I know you're saying, what do you talk about? This is what I'm talking about.
Che, what made me make a reference on what transpired in this time around to what happened back in 2011 is because Honorable Chair, in 2011, I was appointed as the acting national commissioner. At the time, there was a matter of Gerald Mbalula that was in the media. And as I said, crime intelligence was too much in the media at the time. There was a case of corruption against Gerald Mbalula at the time, which was referred to the NPA, was in court. But there was no departmental matter initiated. So I initiated the departmental investigation in that regard. And Gerald Mbalula was already on suspension when I was appointed acting. And after that, I then told Jarastanda, as I said, to make sure, who was a deputy national commissioner at the time, to make sure that departmental investigation is conducted against Mbalula, and also the person who was a direct responsible person for crime intelligence, and that was Lieutenant General Libya, who's now the head of Ops, to make sure that they facilitate the investigation in terms of disciplinary procedure on determining whether there's anything wrong in terms of our disciplinary code. Subsequent to that, Chair, the disciplinary report was ready to subject the matter for the disciplinary hearing. We then received a report from the National Director of Public Prosecution informing us that we must not withdraw the case of General Mbalula is withdrawn because the South African Police Service and the courts of the Republic had no jurisdiction to investigate the corruption matter of the Secret Service account. That was the responsibility of the Inspector General of Intelligence. So in order to test that, we then took the criminal case docket as well as the departmental case docket. We sent it to the Inspector General of Intelligence. And I know, Honorable Chair, is that perhaps that might have been one case that might have motivated or demotivated the Honorable Advocate Kona Barnard, because she was the one who was dealing with the case. And after the case was withdrawn, she left the NPA and she went to Parliament. We then, Chair, submitted these two documents to the Inspector General of Intelligence. The Inspector General of Intelligence responded to us on a departmental matter, because there were two officials involved, was General Mbalula and Lazarus. She responded to us, and that was Advocate Radeb, the late. She then said, there's no case against Lieutenant General Mbalula, departmental, but there is a case against General Lazarus, so we must proceed with General Lazarus. But then I said to her, I'm not going to implement that recommendation until she responds to me about the outcome or the comment that the NPA has taken, or decision the NPA has taken on the withdrawal of the case against General Mbalula. I wanted to be clear about that. Almost a week later, Honorable Chair, the NPA, the Inspector General of Intelligence called me and said I must bring back the letter that recommended that Mbalula should not be charged departmental. I must bring it back because they've studied the case docket and they've realized that the NPA has erred in taking a decision that the police and the courts don't have jurisdiction in criminal matters. And then I decided that I beg your pardon. I said Advocate Bredenbach. I think I used the wrong name. Advocate Bredenbach, who was dealing with the case that is now working in Parliament. When the Inspector General of Intelligence gave us a letter that says the case docket must go back to court, which meant that the departmental matter must proceed, we sent the docket back to court. I personally called the acting National Director of Public Prosecution at the time, and she referred me to the advocate who initially took a decision, and that advocate was Advocate Mkhwanazi. And Advocate Mkhwanazi still wrote back to us, telling us that he has taken a decision to withdraw the case of Mbalula, therefore the matter is closed. So that's how that case stopped, because of that decision. Despite the fact that Inspector General of Intelligence had already said that the NPA was wrong. Subsequent to that, Honorable Chair, we continued with the departmental matter as we were authorized to proceed. Subsequent to that, as I was driving home to KZN, I received a call from the same Advocate Radeb, who was Inspector General, telling me that she has compromised her career. The recommendation that she gave me to prosecute Mbalula was wrong. I must bring that letter back. I refused. The next thing, I got a call from the Minister of Police at that time, who was Mr. Mthetwa, to his house, where he instructed me that I must not charge Mbalula, and because Inspector General of Intelligence have decided that I should not charge Mbalula. And the Inspector General of Intelligence was present in that house, and she said I gave an instruction of what to write. I disputed that, and I said it's a lie. But nonetheless, I told her that until I have something black and white that you are saying to me I must not charge Mbalula, I will continue with the case. Well, of course, criminal, we can't do anything because the NPA had taken a decision, but departmental, we shall continue. And the Inspector General of Intelligence then invited me to her house where she brought back the letter initially that she had withdrawn that said Mbalula is clean, he cannot be charged. And she brought the letter which she had filed and she gave it to me again that said, no, Mbalula is clean. So as a result, the case must be withdrawn. Honorable Chair, what transpired after that, it's disrecorded. The Advocate Bredenbach, Gerald Libya, Gerald Masimola himself, Gerald Kumalo, who's now DPCI, myself, and many other police officers started facing difficulty after that. Especially, I can talk about those in the police. It is on history how Gerald Libya was removed from the SAPS under the leadership of the National Commission at the time, Gerald Pierre. We know how the paging and everything that was done. Myself, Honorable Chair, from the arrival of Gerald Pierre as the head of the SAPS, I sat at home. She did not allocate many posts. She was happy to have me sitting at home for more than 12 months, not doing anything. And it didn't bother me. I feel, Chair, I had done enough. I've gone through some difficult trainings in my life that taught me how to endure. So I just sat there and I told them until they want to make use of me, I'll be available at home. So I enjoyed getting pension payers, taxpayers' money without being used. And to date, there was never investigation about my command at the time, Gerald Pierre, with regard to that action. But I sat at home and doing nothing. And many people will tell their stories. Gerald.
So, there you have it. Mkhwanazi explains who stood on the way of the truth? The minister. Where does the minister come from? The ANC. So the ANC are the last people to talk about procedure. The ANC, they are the last people to tell us about Mkhwanazi that did not follow the procedure. Those are the last and the last and the last and the least of people who could talk, who should tell us about procedure, because that very same ANC made sure that Mkhwanazi is squeezed. Today, he didn't follow the procedure, so that you can do what you did back then. So that you can make sure that whatever frustration, whatever complaint he has, you shut it down. That's the reason why you wanted Mkhwanazi. That's the reason why you wanted Mkhwanazi to follow the right procedure. That's do you see now? You know what I like? You know, I could have created 8 videos during the local today. The problem or the reason I couldn't create this number of videos is because I needed to do a research and find out some of the stuff. The information I got today, you'll appreciate the fact that Mkhwanazi was smart. He followed the procedure. If they complain today that he didn't follow the procedure, he will ask them, when I followed the procedure previously, what did you do? Nothing, right? So why are you expecting me to do the same thing when we know that we're doing the same thing, it doesn't yield results? How many people, too, who follow the procedure today in any government department, be it health, be it whatever, water sanitation, whatever, how many of those who follow the procedure and their complaints or their truth never get to make it because there is a minister from the ANC that presides over such an institution who makes sure that you will never succeed in whatever endeavor? 3, I salute Mkhwanazi for one reason and one reason only. You know, firstly, they follow the procedure. They tell us everything that happened. In fact, they follow the procedure. They report everything. Nothing happens. This time, he decides, let me invite everybody in my struggle. And boom, you know what it does? He calls the press briefing. Guess what? The people, abanye bahlatshwe ivesi ngoba bakholwa ethi ngibeke kanjalo. Jehovah. Kwashukuma, kwashisa. I'm telling you, babamba bayeka abantu abadala, amakhehla. Guys, there's something here. Mkhwanazi has been speaking. The thing is, we have not been listening. There has been a cry about this situation. The problem is we did not want to listen, maybe, or we were not hearing what Mkhwanazi was saying. Because when I went back and I look at when Mkhwanazi says this, where is it coming from? I'm actually finding more evidence even now, I'm still sitting in front of a lot of evidence that I'm not going to finish, right? We're probably going to talk about this until Sunday. There's so much evidence. As I'm going through this, and I'm saying, when Mkhwanazi said this, where was he coming from? Did he, or was there any truth about what Mkhwanazi said here? Then I go back and I find that, no, Mkhwanazi spoke about this. Now, I want to give you another practical example. Mkhwanazi spoke about all of those things, but we were not listening. He had an interview, and this is what he said.
I've been in the organization. I'm sure you'll recall what happened back in 2011. I had the entire state security, the entire intelligence deployed on me because we were seen as a threat to the national security, simply because there was a file on our desk about a very senior politician. And as a result, they deployed all the state resources to counter that. And I mean, that's why I was sitting at home for a year, not working. So that was no surprise. South Africans have forgotten that. I sit at home without doing anything, simply because I deal with the rogue animals in the organization, which then irritated some politicians. And I'm happy to say today, some of the rogue animals we're dealing with in the police are not in the service anymore. Some of them, senior people, are sitting in prison that we're dealing with back then in 2011. But when we're doing that, we were outcast. We were the bad ones, simply because we touched the wrong people. So we did not surrender then. We're not going to surrender now. So it's either we on paper, we do it on paper, we find each other in court. You counter with whatever you counter. I'm not going to play in the media thing. So they can write whatever they like. I've been there. I've for so many years. I've been bruised. So this doesn't scare me. And I'm not going to waste my breath in dealing with people that are faceless. But for those that are within the system that are doing things wrong, we're going to challenge them legally and deal with them. But if they want to come physical, we'll find each other on the field. That's just about what it is.
So clearly, the press conference was the last resort. Yesterday, I proved to you beyond reasonable doubt that forget the ANC president will not solve the problem. Mkhwanazi, forget. What I've just done today, the evidence that I've brought to you, was to prove to you that it is the same ANC people that stood on the way of the truth. How and why do you think today they will back up Mkhwanazi? Why do you think today they will stand there and defend the truth, not that their minister? It is not in their DNA. If you want to see the issue of or what I'm trying to address when I say the ANC cannot defend the truth. I said it to you yesterday that the ANC cannot defend the truth. It is not in their DNA. And I proved to you people that have been supporting. Maybe I will need to insert this video somewhere here so you can understand what I'm trying to say. When I say to you, they will not stand with Mkhwanazi. Rather, they will stand against Mkhwanazi. And in fact, the evidence that they are standing against Mkhwanazi is out there. Their problem is they can't. Their biggest problem is that they can't do it publicly. Okay, we are coming. I'm going somewhere. The problem right now is that they can't do it publicly. So they need to do it in a strategic manner. By the way, I happen to know what they are planning to do. It is out there. I will show you. That's why I'm saying when you look at this, you're like, how? The evidence is there. One of, not all of them, one of their plan is out there. I'm going to share it with you. Guys, this is so interesting. Huh? So interesting. When I speak about it, I kind of feel like, oh, we've been sleeping on this. Huh? All along, we've been sleeping on this. The evidence is in front of you. You just need to pay attention. But unfortunately, the problem with us, we are this TikTok generation. Our lifespan, our concentration span is so low that it's so low that I don't know how to explain it. It is so low that we can't concentrate on something and follow that thing to the teeth. Because if we do so, nobody will lie to us. We will tell you from the beginning that stop lying. Now we are lying because this is what happened, this is what happened, this is what happened, this is what happened. So that's why things are like this. Stop lying to us. But because we are we are a microwave generation, it will only take, Mkhwanazi can only trend from the 6th of July until the next Sunday. After Sunday, probably, I'm telling you now, one of the things is they will find something to distract this They will find a story that is going to detract this, then it's no longer trending, and then they deal with him. It is a known fact. But there is more. Oh, there's more on what Mkhwanazi said. There is more. And I need to give you more details about that. So, allow me to end this episode here with the hope that I will be back. I will be back. There's more. There's more. I can't even finish this. By the way, we have not yet spoken about the crime intelligence members. I'm coming. There's new information that I saw Mkhwanazi hinting something, but you didn't pay attention, but we're coming. We'll talk about that. There's more.